Ross Tucker joins the program now. You can follow him on Twitter at Ross Tucker NFL, host of the Even Money podcast and also myfrontpagestory.com. Ross, good morning. Always a pleasure to have you on the program. How are you today?
Absolutely. Good morning, guys. I am fantastic. It's playoff time, which is always very exciting. And I like that we have, 6 games as opposed to used to just be 4. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind if the Lions and the Steelers were in the playoffs playing against the Eagles and Chiefs this weekend. I know some people don't like playoff expansion, but I don't have a problem with it. And this year actually would have been a pretty decent year to have 8 teams in each conference.
I think we'll get there probably sooner than later. You're calling the Bills Dolphins this week. We talked about this a little bit earlier today on the show, Ross. Tomorrow is a big day for Tua in the concussion protocol process. I know it's speculation at this point and maybe a guess. What would you, if you had to bet on it right now, do you think he plays against the Bills or no?
Yeah, obviously no inside information, so I have no idea. I'm going to guess no.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that he is shut down for the rest of the year, but I could very easily be wrong. It's a playoff game. It's a unique opportunity for him and the organization. But, last week, they didn't even consider him playing. And remember, he had suffered the concussion 2 weeks prior, right? So it's not like the concussion was against the Patriots, and that's why he didn't play against the Jets. The concussion had happened the week before, and last week it was like it wasn't even on the radar screen. Like there was no shot, no discussion, nothing. So I am going to lean to guessing that Tua does not play and is not activated for the game, but we'll see. But then there's the question about Bridgewater.
Yes.
Bridgewater has that pinky issue, so we don't know about him. I mean, it's wild. I think most people would probably tell you that out of the teams that were competing for that last spot in the AFC, I feel like the Dolphins are probably the team that has the least amount of momentum or the least chance to probably win a game. I mean, the Steelers have been playing pretty good. The Patriots have been kind of a 500 club, but it does feel like the Dolphins are kind of limping in. And now Mostert, who was their best player on offense, Mostert was running like a man possessed.
Yeah.
He was unloading on Jets defenders. He has a broken thumb that Mike McDaniel's calling a serious injury, and he might not play.
They don't have much of a shot if it's going to be Thompson. They don't have it because you get blown out. What are your thoughts on the Bills? And if you were troubled with what you watched defensively against Mac Jones and the Bills' chances moving forward?
Well, that's the thing. It's one of the things I'm interested in, right? I know they won by double digit. Guys, they had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
Yeah.
And their defense did not look great. And I don't know that any of us know. There's no script, right? None of us know how much they were helped and or hurt by the Damar Hamlin situation a week ago. Obviously, you would think that it would have affected their preparation and hurt them. But then when the game kicked off, it just felt like that stadium exploded and that it was like a powder keg of emotion. And you almost feel like that helped them. Now, can they get to that fevered pitch again? Can they get up like that? I mean, I'm sure the fans probably can, but just a different week, right? Now it's like a Sunday 1 clock game. It's kind of a nondescript game. The Dolphins aren't playing that great. I actually think there's a lot of potential there for the Dolphins to be able to hang in this one just because of that. I could really, at this point, I could only lean to the Dolphins and the 10.5. I just don't lay 10.5. I hate laying a number like that.
Yep.
So I'm not laying 10.5, especially because the Bills aren't trying to win by 10.5. They're just trying to win the game. So right now I would just be a lean to the Dolphins.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Ross Tucker, our guest, again, Even Money Podcast on Twitter, at Ross Tucker NFL. We had Randy Cross on the show a half an hour ago, former 49ers great. And, he gave us a very logical answer when I said, how many teams outside of Philadelphia scare you as a former 49ers player? He said, well, at this point, every team should scare you. Well, we'll ask you, to rank the teams then for Philadelphia, right? Assuming that the 49ers are the scariest team going to Philadelphia in their current form, how would you rank the teams behind the 49ers in the NFC?
I think probably after them, I'd still say the Cowboys.
You would, okay.
I know they didn't look good against the Commanders, and Dak has kind of been up and down. I know a lot of people are banging on Dak this week. I don't know. I mean, until this week, the Cowboys have been scoring the most points in the NFL since Dak had come back. They had been moving the ball very effectively. We know they've got some very talented guys on defense like Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs, etc. So, to be honest with you guys, I only think there's 5 teams I can see going to the Super Bowl right now. And that is the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals in the AFC. Mm-hmm. And then the Eagles or the Niners in the NFC. If you're forcing me to say another team that maybe could go on a run, I would still say the Cowboys. And then, the Vikings have to be the most disrespected 13-win team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I know the point differential thing. I got all that. I know they've won more than their fair share of one-score games. Like, I read the same stuff you guys do. Like, I get it, okay? But they still won 13 games. I mean, that's not easy to do. They have a quarterback playing at a top 10 level. They're the best receiver in the NFL. Hawkinson's added a lot. They do have some pass rushers if they get a lead, like Hunter and Zadarius Smith. And yet I say all those things, and I kind of like the Giants +3.
Oh, God. Come on. What? How about the Sunday night game? What's going on with Baltimore and Lamar Jackson? And is he going to be their guy for the future? And do they give him a long-term deal?
Well, so first of all, most people expect him to play Sunday night, but there are some people that have looked at him and they're not so sure. He hasn't really done anything.
Yes.
So I think people are kind of skeptical of whether or not he'll definitely go out there. And if he does, how well he'll be able to play. I don't see him going anywhere to another team, but I also don't see the Ravens giving in on this fully guaranteed contract that he wants. Why would you? He's missed at least 5 games the last 2 years.
Right.
I don't know that he was really playing great this year when he got hurt. And I'll tell you another thing, guys. I don't think Deshaun Watson and the way he played the last 6 games or whatever it was, I don't think he did Lamar or any of these guys any favor, right? Like, I mean, talk about buyer beware. And you can say he's rusty, blah, blah, blah. If I'm a Browns fan, I'm scared to death by that contract right now. And it's even just more fuel for a team like the Ravens to say, you know what? Maybe we'll hold off on any type of fully guaranteed deal. I'm sure they'll offer him a big average per year, but if he insists on fully guaranteed, I think the Ravens just franchise tag him.
All right. How's everything going at myfrontpagestory.com?
Awesome. We had a great year. We're up like 40%, thanks in part to you guys, and thanks because people realize it's the best gift you can get anybody. And Valentine's Day is a month away already. So listen, if you listen to this show, you know about the value of time. You know about the value of money. Go to myfrontpagestory.com, the best Valentine's Day gift ever, and just knock it out. You don't want to be dealing with this Super Bowl week, okay? You don't want to be dealing with Valentine's Day stuff when you're placing all your prop bets on the Super Bowl. So go to myfrontpagestory.com now and get your significant other the gift that they literally will cry. They'll be so happy that you gave them this thoughtful of a gift, a story written all about them. myfrontpagestory.com. And you guys have great listeners, by the way, because every time I come on, at least a couple people make an order. So I love that. You know what? I should come up with a code so that next time I come on,
all right.
Here, I promise this. Next time I come on, I'll have a specific code that you guys can get a discount on, and that will know they came from Follow the Money, which is awesome.
Beautiful. As always, an entertaining listen as you are on the Even Money podcast, and entertaining on Twitter as well, at Ross Tucker NFL. Thanks for the time as always, Ross.
Of course. See you guys. Have a great week.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.